Hello, everybody, and welcome to Rewind, the retro video game show coming to you live every Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, right here in the AWS for Games channels on YouTube and Twitch. My name is Chris Melisinos, and I'm the principal evangelist for video games here at AWS. And on today's episode, we're going to be playing through some full motion video games. That always struck me as being odd, right? When we talk about FMV, full motion video, well, if it's not full motion, then how could it, if it's not full motion, how could it be video, right? That always kind of confused me a little bit back in the day. But what FMV games mean is that they are using full motion pre-recorded video as either elements in the game, the background of the game, maybe the protagonist, or in fact, the entirety of the game would be done as pre-rendered video that would then play out on screen. You would interact with it in some ways. Of course, the granddaddy of full motion video games, you can see right behind me, is Dragon's Lair. When this game first made its way into the arcades in the very early 1980s, I believe 1982, it changed the way we thought about what video games and arcades could be. I believe it was the very first video games machine that actually cost $1 per play. Which, of course, you know, back then, video games were $0.25 per play in the arcades. You could either play 4 other games and kind of stretch that dollar, or you could go ahead and jump in and play the newest, craziest game that looked like an animated movie, but played like a video game, Dragon's Lair. So we're going to go ahead and jump in and actually take a look at some of the full motion video games for consoles, specifically for the Sega or Mega CD, and for the 3DO. So, and we'll go ahead and compare some versions between the two as well. And I figured, you know, it's a good time to look back at full motion video games, because with all the talk around AI and games generation, these were games that relied on real actors, on real sets, or animators making full animated movies that you interacted with or played with. Instead of AI generated content, these were real people on set doing crazy stuff. The acting is hilariously terrible, which makes it so much better than if the acting was actually really good. So let's go ahead and ease into the weekend by playing through some full motion video games. All right, let's head on over and check them out. All right, so here we are. We're going to, like I said, take a look at these games that were made for these systems, right? The Sega CD and the Panasonic 3DO. Now, the reason I have the logo up here of the Panasonic version of the 3DO, although there were several of them, was because that was the first one that I got. The FZ1 was the name of that system. And so, all right, since we started off with Dragon's Lair behind me, let's go ahead and take a look at Dragon's Lair on the Sega CD, right, which is where we first saw this coming to the home. And let's just see how wonderfully low resolution and terrible this may be. Actually, not terrible. Lovingly awesome. All right. And of course, you know, being that these were CD-based games, they take a bit of time to, you know, actually launch, right? All right, let's hear. Let's go select our language. And let's go ahead and get a little Dragon's Lair going there. And if you happen to be popping in, let me know if the audio is loud enough or if it's overpowering. That would be great. And I'll go ahead and keep my eye on the chat here as we go through and play. So you can see, you know, the Genesis didn't have the greatest color palette. So what we're seeing here is the best that we could do, basically with 64 colors on screen with the Sega CD. But at the time that this was released, you know, it had full audio and CD quality audio, and that was huge for us back in the day, you know. All right, let's go ahead and check it out. Let's see if we can even get past the opening here. Nope. Okay, wrong button. Let's go ahead and give that another shot. And let's see. Lives 4. Oh, nope. I swung the sword too early. All right, let's see it again. Here we go. Okay, and go and run. All right. All right, come on, get out of there. Now, one of the things that this version is not doing is making it blink, right, or lighting up where you're supposed to go, which is what it did in the arcade. It made it a little bit easier. Okay. Okay. Oh, there. It actually did light up there that time. I wonder why it didn't on this screen before. That was pretty interesting. All right. Nope. Ah, I should have swung my sword. Okay, let's go ahead and try it again. Here we go. Okay, we got that. Now up the stairs. Oh, I meant to jump forward. Oh, and that was really cool too. It had all the different death animations and everything else. Oh, it was really amazing back in the day. Now again, you know, we hadn't been able to play these types of games at home. It was really only in the arcade at $1 per play. So it was super expensive, which also made buying this type of a game at home a lot more cost effective, even if the quality was, as you can see, pretty terrible. But this was one of the very first, if not the first, full motion video game, and that was it on the Sega CD. Now, I was going back through my collection, of games, and I wanted to make sure that we had some games that we could compare to each other. So this was the version of Dragon's Lair on the 3DO. Now, it takes a little while for it to load because it was a pretty slow machine as well, the 3DO. But you're going to see already how much better the quality of video is, and so now you can see it's a lot closer to the arcade. Look at how crisp and clear that was. So now, if you could afford to get a 3DO, right? I mean, I had to sell a bunch of equipment and stuff like that to be able to afford the 3DO for myself. But if you could have the 3DO at home, now you're really getting close to what the arcade could deliver. We take that for granted today, that the games we have at home are basically the same exact versions that we have in arcades. Not so back in the day. So let's go ahead and play through a little bit of the 3DO version of Dragon's Lair. Look how much prettier it is. Oh, and it's not beeping too when I'm hitting the buttons, right? So, all right, let's see. Let's see. Come on, here we go. Nope, it's not hitting that either. All right, we're going to go and give that another shot. Let me see. Nope. Man, that is really tough to go ahead and get right. Nope, I can't get past that. Oh my goodness, I think I'm almost out of lives, right? Let's see. Here we go. And nope. Oh, not going to be able to do that. Yeah. So that was the 3DO version, but you could see just how much better the graphics were on the 3DO. Bigger color palette, higher resolution. So you could go ahead and play a more arcade accurate version of Dragon's Lair on the 3DO. Absolutely. All right, let's go ahead and move on over to the follow-on to, or one of the follow-ons to Dragon's Lair. And this one's Space Ace. And loved this one as well. Yeah, we're going to see here. Ooh, the 3DO. Yeah, this is back in the day when, you know, every game system that came out was really, well, I shouldn't say every, but most game systems that came out generationally were such a massive leap over the one before it. Yeah, I mean, listen to that. And it looks really good. So Don Bluth, who founded the ReadySoft company, he was a former Disney animator. So that's why everything has a very Disney-esque quality to it. Just really, really beautiful. All right, let's see if we can't.
There's Borf's ship.
Oh, Kimmy, no. Oh, nope, got hit. All right, this one you can hear the controller beeping there. So let's see. Let's see if how far we can get on this.
There's Borf's ship.
There's Borf's ship. Shoot. Oh, missed that too. Missed that too. And I'm not going to play through, I mean, even if I can play through them, I'm not going to play through a lot of them because we have a lot of games that we want to go ahead and get to. So, all right, here we go. Here we go. Nope, and I got hit by the Infanto Ray. So you can see, again, the quality of this was just so much better, right, than what we had on the Sega CD. All right, let's go ahead and jump back over to the Sega CD library and check out another game that, when it came out, again, the full motion video really kind of got you. It's called Cobra Command. This was originally released in the arcade, and this is a fully animated game, meaning that it's all animation, no live action as well, just like Dragon's Lair, but really leans into the whole anime style of art. And yeah, you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. And then, of course, we have another one called Road Avenger, which is probably my favorite full motion video game. And let's get that turned down just a little bit there. Wolf Team. Look at that. That's in all that glorious 12 frames per second. Or whatever it was back in the day. Highly compressed audio. Cobra Command. All right, let's check this one out. Look at that. But now, again, you got to put yourself in the era in which this game came out to understand just how amazing this was. With the limited color palette, limited resolution, we were still playing these full motion games that were in the arcade, but at home. And again, these are really memorization-based games, right? Left, right, up and down, fire button, and there we go. All right, let's go ahead and give that a shot. Let's go ahead and look at the config here. Control A, B, and C. So B and C is what we're going to wind up using. Okay, it's on normal. Let's give ourselves some more chances to win here. All right, here we go.
Okay, Captain. Let's knock him out of New York.
Okay, and so what you're doing now is it looks like you are actually hitting. Oh no, I hit the Statue of Liberty. Terrible, man. Terrible. All right, let's try it again. All right, we want to, let's see, we want to shoot that guy in there. Okay, and we want, oh, up, 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 up. Okay. And we've got to wait till we see those bounding boxes there. All right. And now we have to make sure we're also looking at the bottom there. Oh, the Twin Towers. So you can, again, tell the era in which this was made. Okay, there we've got another one. Now you have to make sure you're also, while fighting them, you have to make sure you're looking down at the bottom because you want to be able to go up, down, left, or right based on what it's telling you to do. Okay, and see right there. Oh, all right, we are doing it. Oh, go, go, go. All right, there we go. Oh, okay, actually doing all right here. Haven't had to use any Vulcan missiles yet. Okay, I got it. Right, left. Woo! And when you hear those beeps, you know, it's basically letting you know, oh, okay, so I got hit right there. I wonder how far back it's going to take me, though.
All right, head downtown.
Head downtown. All right. Okay, there we go. Oh, come on. I hit that. All right, we're going to play just a little bit more of this one here.
Let's knock him out of New York.
Okay, yeah, let's... Oh, look at that. It moved me back. So I guess each chapter that you don't do well in, it bumps you back to the beginning of the next chapter. That's pretty janky. At least let me continue on the level in which I died. That's... Now, you can also obviously see the difference in graphics of like the reticle and the objects, the sprites that are being animated versus the full motion video backgrounds, which is really all you're doing is you are connecting with collision boxes that they're basically overlaying over the video. There used to be a game system called the Action Max that was, again, we thought it was really cool at the time, but in hindsight, it was absolutely terrible. What you did was you had this little, let's see, come on, okay, I got him. You had this sensor that you placed on the television in the bottom, I think, right corner, and then it played a VHS, basically a VCR cassette, and all of the objects that you fought had like little white glowing boxes on them that would flicker, and the sensor that you put on the TV would match up the flicker of the what you saw on the screen to when you're pressing basically the gun, and that's how it registered that you had a hit. And it was terrible. It was terrible. But back then, it was like, you know, a really cheap, like, you know, Top Gun type of knockoff that you were playing. And so it was kind of cool for the time, but you could tell, oh man, you could tell that, you know, it was really terrible, even back then. All right, and that is Cobra Command. So yeah, that's, you know, again, full motion video games that we were playing back in the day. All right, let's go ahead and jump into another one. Now, as I mentioned, you know, the way those games worked is it was playing this full motion video in the background, and then it would create invisible hit boxes basically on the screen that would move along with where the animation was going. If you hit those boxes, then it would go ahead and register your score. Then you had other games that just used full motion video for the background and went ahead and used sprites to go ahead and render all the enemies that you would go ahead and play against. But they would also create these invisible bounding boxes for collision. So if you are, you know, flying down a trench and you hit the walls on left or right, you would actually register as a collision or a hit. And there are two games that came out for the Sega CD and for the 3DO. And these were done by a little company called Psygnosis. Now, Psygnosis was one of the very first companies. Actually, I think it was the very first company that was acquired by Sony back in the day for the original PlayStation 1. And they were the team that created the Wipeout series of games. But before that, they had a ton of games that came out for the Amiga and Commodore machines and for these other systems as well. And a really good friend, Dominic Mallinson, who was over there at Psygnosis, is one of the people that worked on Nova Storm. So shout out to Dom. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive into a little bit of a Psygnosis, a classic Psygnosis title. I mean, look at this. You have Nova Storm. It's you know, the space theme here. Let's see.
In recent months, mysterious systems crashes have plagued all of our systems.
I mean, and you can just see, look, you know, they had very limited color palette, very limited systems in which to kind of play around and work with. And you'll also notice that the video isn't full screen, right? It's either letterboxed like that, or sometimes it's even cropped in, because the power of those systems really couldn't go ahead and create a fully animated scene that took up the full screen and could maintain a high enough level of refresh or frame rate to make it playable, right? All right, enough of that. Let's go ahead and jump right in. Now, this is a game where it's painting sprites onto this full motion video background. All right, let's check this out. Let's see. Can we change that? Yeah, let's give ourselves 7 lives here. And yeah, let's start the game. I do love this game, though. I do love it. I have very fond memories of this, of playing this game when it first came out. And again, not the greatest of games from a cohesiveness perspective, but it was a ton of fun to play. Oh, I didn't mean to do that either. All right. So you can see, you know, firing missiles and your laser cannons at these. The sprites are higher definition than the background. Not much, though. I mean, in this version, they actually did a pretty decent job of matching the fidelity of the background to the fidelity of the sprites, right? In the 3DO version, it's a bit more apparent, but you can see, look at how smoothly your ship is animating, right, on the screen versus the background. And that's really kind of what gives it away. All right, here we go. Now, if I collide with the side, so let me show you. So right now, I'm taking damage by hitting those walls, but you're not really hitting the image that you see. You're hitting basically a collision box that has been mapped over where that section of the video is displaying a wall, right? So it gives the illusion that you're actually interacting with the video itself. And look, I mean, in video games, a lot of times it is about that illusion, right? It's about making you believe that the system is doing more than it was capable of, or you're playing in environments that are more detailed than they truly are. And this is very much the same case here. And we can still see some of these techniques employed today, right? Not some, many of these techniques employed today. But I mean, look at the size of this enemy, right? Now, here's the one, it's not a problem. It's one thing to remember when you're playing these sorts of games. The enemies will always appear in exactly the same place. They'll always, they may fire a little bit differently because that's, you know, those are sprites. But the animation can't change, right? So the animation will always run for as long as it is, unless they loop it. And it will always animate in exactly the same way. There can be no variance to it, right? Which is one of the limitations of full motion video games. But, you know, but then again, you're getting games that look like this on a system that really could not generate graphics that look like this in real time, right? They had to go ahead and do it in full motion video on the back end. And there we go. Oh, no. Oh, that was it. All right, and that is Nova Storm. Now, let's go ahead and see. I think I have it in my library here. Let's see. We have Nova Storm on the 3DO. So let's go ahead and compare the two, and you'll just see just how much better the 3DO version looks versus the Sega CD version. And while we're waiting for that, we'll go ahead and get a sip of this full motion video water. Ah, yes. And so, you know, it is a lot of fun, again, to go back and take a look at the tricks and techniques that developers needed to use in these older systems back in the day to create the illusion of these bigger worlds, these bigger enemies on systems that were really anemic, right? So you can already see, look how much clearer that video is. Still cropped in because it took a lot of power, right, to render that and speed to render that off, or to display it off of the disc on these older systems. But you can see so many more colors, higher resolution, better audio, all of that. All right, let's not wait for them to get through this. Yeah, listen that music too. I love this music here. And this is something that Psygnosis did really, really well back in the day. Is they had very atmospheric music and sound effects that would play in their games. Really, they really leaned into audio as another character, right, within their games. I do love that. All right, let's go ahead and see what options we have available. We already have 7 options, or 7 lives, rather. Okay, you can change the controls from being, let's see, up to down. So pressing up will take you up, down will take you down, or you can change it to airplane controls, right? Pulling down will make you go up will make you down. Let me see if that's better for me to play that way. All right, here we go. Let's start this game and let's get in. Yeah, look how much high resolution these are. So pretty. Oh, so nice. Okay, let's get going. Let's get going. There are galaxies to save here. All right, come on. Let's get... Oh, yeah, look at that. Now, what I would love to know is, and I should reach out to Dom and ask him, what systems they use to actually do these renders on. I would assume it would have been an Amiga or something like that, but I don't know. But that would be good to know. Given that they were an Amiga shop, right? They made a lot of games for the Amiga. I would imagine that they were making this on the Amiga. All right, so you can see that higher resolution, faster movement and everything else. But what is noticeable on the 3DO versus the Sega CD is that you can really clearly tell the difference between the sprites that you're fighting and the background, right? That makes up the rest of the world. Because, you know, the video was still needed to be low resolution enough that the system can handle it at a decent frame rate, but it was a higher resolution machine, which meant that the sprites could be made at a higher resolution. So in this case, it really does stand out. You really can see that there's a difference there. All right, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, yeah. So I should have probably just used regular controls because I am having difficulty here with my up, down, left, right. And it is weird, right? Depending, there's some games like Space Harrier that really throws me off. There are other games that are not flying games per se, or rather that are flying games where I have to have this. Also, look at the difference between the bosses from the Sega CD version of Nova Storm and the 3DO version. The 3DO version, we have this sprite-based big boss here, a mid-boss, that's going to blow me up now. Yeah, a little bit different death animation too. Damn. All right. So anyway, you can see the difference between the two. Again, the resolution really plays into it. The capability is of doing higher frame rate really plays into it too. Yeah, pretty good. All right, let's see. Let's go. Oh, they see you paused it there, or I paused it there. You didn't do anything. Here we go. Here we go. And I do love, though, that people are still using full motion video in some of the games, modern games that are made today, too. Okay, those are all good and popping off there. Let me see. Okay, I don't think I have a Vulcan cannon in this one like I did in the Sega CD version. Oh, I do. Yeah, it's the shoulder button. Oh, yeah, look how much more explosive that was. And because I couldn't control it correctly, I just lost the pickup there. Boom. Anyway, all right, that is Nova Storm by Psygnosis for the 3DO. And looking, you know, comparing the difference between the 3DO and the Sega CD is pretty wonderful. All right, let's go ahead and jump into another one. Back to the Sega CD. And let's see, what do we have up here next? Yeah, let's try my favorite full motion game on here. And this is Road Avenger. This one is pretty awesome. Do love me some Road Avenger. If you had a Sega CD or a 3DO, right, or played full motion video games on your, other consoles, what are your fondest memories of playing full motion video games? If you have some, you may not have any, right? All right, here we go. We're going to go ahead and let this one play a little bit so we can hear it. It's dulcet tones. I also apologize for the tinny nature of the sound. It almost sounds a little like a Bowie, type of sound. Definitely pretty awesome in there. All right, let's go ahead and give this a shot. Let me go ahead and dip over here and grab something off the... All right, off the table over here. Okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and give this one a shot. Road Adventure. Okay, options for sure. 5. We have normal and hard. Okay. Left, right. Let's see. It's turbo and brake. Okay. And yeah, let's go ahead and get this game started. Yes, you see, it is pretty exciting. Oh, hitting those brakes. And this is like a game you really do. Oh, no. I didn't hit the turbo, so he ran me over. Okay, let's go ahead. Back in. Here we go. Now, the thing is, once you learn the patterns, then, the game is super easy to beat. Any of these full motion video type of games like this, right? So that was the one thing that people, always kind of held against these was that fact, right? That it's basically like Simon. Once you've figured it out, that's it. Okay. Oh, yeah. Just hit him. Oh, no. Okay, that was pretty forgiving then. Oh. No, I hit the brake. Ah. Okay. Let's see how far back it's going to kick me now, though. Oh, all the way back to the beginning of the scene. All right. Left. Now it should be left again. Then it should be right. Now I'm going to hit the brake. I do like that it's squealing for as long as I hold the brake button down. All right. Turn right. Now I'm going to turn right again. And right again. And then we got the turbo button. Shoot. Brake. Right. Left. Okay, now I should have a turbo button here shortly. Up there. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh no, no. Oh, no. I hit the brake button and not the turbo button. Woo. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can get past this one. And it's one of these games where I can't really tell. All right. Here. Left. Right. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. That is enough from Road Adventure. You can see, I mean, that one is legitimately fun to play, even though it is, you're just, clicking those patterns. Oh my goodness. What a great, great game. Road Adventure. Yes. That one was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at another one on here that I really did like when it came out. This is called Cadillacs and Dinosaurs. Now, there was another game that came out called Cadillacs and Dinosaurs in the arcade that was a side-scrolling beat-em-up. This one took a different approach, and this was a driving game that used all full-motion video for all of the elements right around it. And I love the disclaimer that they had to put up here back in the day because we were all dumb kids and didn't realize that you needed to wear seatbelts in the car. So the story about to contains scenes in which the characters are riding in a car without wearing seatbelts. This is not advisable. Please wear your seatbelt at all times when riding in a car. And this message is furnished in conjunction with General Motors Corporation, right? So you can see that, a corporate sponsor was concerned about what people were going to do based on a video game that they were associated with, right? I just thought that was charming for its time. All right, let's go check out Cadillacs and Dinosaurs.
Back in the year 2020 AD, the Earth faced the devastation of the first great cataclysm. Earthquakes, torrential rains, tidal waves, and the melting of the polar caps signaled the unprecedented fall of an era.
What I do love too is going back when I'm playing some of these older games and they've got the credits, is seeing like my friends or people that I'd forgotten that they've actually worked on these things before. And that just gives us more things to discuss, right? All right, enough of the backstory. Let's get to, okay, we don't want this to be hard. We want this to be easy. Let's see, we're just gonna do one player. Music's on, chapter 1. All right, let's go. Beware. Of course, it's always got to be some alien race that's, up to no good, standing around active volcanoes, creating just chaos, because that's what they do. Uh-huh. Okay, all right, enough. Let's get to the game. Here we go. Here we go.
Hannah, try to blast those obstacles out of our path. But
Okay.
be careful not to hit any of the living creatures.
Just drive, Tenrak. Leave the shooting to me.
Yeah, just drive Tenrak and leave the shooting to her. So again, like I said before, you've got these branching paths that happen. And the collision, it makes you feel like you're actually colliding with all of the animated background, but you're not. It's just an illusion. Oh no! Ah! All right, let's see. Don't hit any of the living creatures like dinosaurs or giant logs that can. I don't know why you're driving this convertible Cadillac though through the jungle. That doesn't seem very smart, but you know, again, it was a convincing illusion for back in the day. Oh yeah, you also have vertical shooting as well. Oh no! Oh, I didn't mean to hit that dinosaur. Oh no! Oh, did you see that? Oh no, I didn't mean to kill that dinosaur. Now I feel terrible. Now they will go extinct. Oh. Ah, no, I'm gonna run into his leg. Oh man, yeah, they did not like that at all. Okay, yeah, you don't want to shoot any of the dinosaurs. Let's not do that. Leave the place better than when you found it. You know, sitting here playing this also makes me realize just the joy of playing video games. You know, we shoot for, oh no, I should have gotten that. We strive for, in so many, I hit him again. So many modern games, you know, we strive for ultimate realism or, you know, really deep and intricate environments and this, that. It doesn't need, games don't necessarily need to hit that level of realism or, you know, crush the renderer or things like that to be enjoyable. Like, this is a legitimately fun game, and it is relatively simple, you know, on this older technology, but it's still so much fun. Oh, I went ahead and hit him again. Oh no, he went ahead and just decided to headbutt our car. Oh my goodness. All right, let's do one more car, and then we're going to move on to a couple of the games because we're going to be running out of time. And there's so many awesome full motion video games to play. And there's one that I want to share that was one of my kids' favorites on the 3DO from back in the day. And it was so good. Obviously, my kids weren't born when the 3DO came out. But in bringing the 3DO out, it's something that they really did love to play. We had a ton of fun playing it, but I'm going to save that one for last. All right, so that was Cadillac and Dinosaurs on the Sega CD. Again, very different from the side scroller that they used to have. But yeah, really, really just a lot of fun. Just a lot of fun. Now, there is another one that was pretty popular when the Sega CD came out. And I believe it was a pack-in with the Sega CD, either at the beginning or shortly thereafter. Actually, yeah, it was when it first came out. And this is a game called Sewer Shark. And yeah, it's, well, you'll see. You know, it is a full-on FMV shooting game. But look at who it was developed by. Sony ImageSoft. So before PlayStation was really an ongoing concern at all for Sony, they had a label called ImageSoft, and they were making games for a variety of different consoles, including the Sega CD. And so this one was produced by them, came out, it's a Hasbro production, and the company that created all of it was run by a guy named Tom Zito. And Tom had created a game system that they were selling into Hasbro that would play these games off this. Rob Fulop, and we'll talk about him too. All these games could be played off of a VHS cassette. But they understood that there were problems with the VHS cassette and rewinding and everything else, and the tape would eventually wear out, and it was expensive to manufacture. I believe the system was called the Nero system, and I've talked about it before on the show before. And so, anyway, they went ahead and started making the games that they had created there for the Sega CD. Rob Fulop, and that was Digital Pictures. Rob Fulop who you saw in the beginning there, the credit for, Rob was one of the original programmers over at Atari. And I believe the game, one of the most popular games he worked on was Missile Command. And he left Atari and was one of the people that formed a company called Imagic that created some really wonderful games for the Atari 2600 era, like Demon Attack and Atlantis and Cosmic Arc. And still, working with new technologies and moving forward, Rob went on to work on these types of games. Don't you love the smell of sewers in the morning? What a terrible callback to Apocalypse Now, right? At Top Rat instead of Top Gun? Terrible. Terrible and awesome all at the same time. All right, let's go ahead and get on here. All right, you're dog meat. All right, now I do believe in this one, you not only have to shoot as well, but you have to look at the arrows at the top of the screen to tell you which way to go. Here we go. Stay cool, dog meat. All right, let's see. Ah, looks just like, what was the name of the character in Portal 2? Okay, we have to basically hit all these red-eyed, whatchamacallit, rats down here. Oh, there they are. And then you're going to come to... Come on. I'm trying to stay on course, dummy. Let me see. I want... Oh, okay, maybe I have to press... let me see. A button when I turn. There we go. Hit that rat. Okay, when do I hit that? Okay, now I'm off course. Gets this crate on track, pencil neck. Love it. Terrible. Here we go. Now, again, this is the case where they've been able to do a good job of matching the sprites to the fidelity of the background, so it looks more cohesive than we saw on the 3DO. Except, oh yeah, you just saw that bat fly by. You can tell that that is a foreground element, not a background element. But this is, this is the extent really that we had of full motion video games back in the day, right? Okay, come on, let's see. Do I need to turn this? Wrong way, butt brain. Yeah, great. But imagine being a kid and this is what your video game is yelling at you right back in the day. We didn't have very explicit video games or dialogue like we have today. So the fact that it would, yell at you and say those things was pretty provocative, I would say, back in the day. Oh, there we go. All right. So this is Sewer Shark. Again, another kind of straightforward shooter with FMV backgrounds there. Yeah, then Robert Costanza. You're hoping to see George Costanza there. Yeah, so here you go. Music by Mark Mothersbaugh. So yes, we have a little Devo sound in there, which is fantastic. All right, let's go ahead and jump back over to the 3DO, and there's a couple of games that we want to go ahead and take a look at. In fact, let's go ahead and first take a look at the Sewer Shark on the 3DO versus the Sega CD we just played, and then we're going to go to play one more full motion video based game before we get out of here for the weekend, right? And yeah, so here we go, digital pictures. And there are some FMV games that I've shown here before, like Night Trap, Double Switch, and those. So we're not going to go back over those again. We've already looked at those before. So yeah, a U-Direct film. Look at the quality of the video that we now have. So much better on the 3DO, right? But they didn't go back and reshoot these scenes, right? They were able to just bring from the original concept by Rob Fulop.
Another crash and burn.
Another crash and burn. Ugh.
Come on, rookie.
Has a little Firefly vibe.
Now that's my main man.
That's my main man.
Shoot the tubes. Give him your best stuff, and he'll keep you flying.
That's right.
Maybe all the way to Solar City, huh?
Maybe all the way to Solar City.
Showtime. I'm Falco. You'll be hearing from me.
Okay, you'll be hearing from Falco. All right. Let's go ahead and do it again. Look how much better the video is. But now let's see how much more the sprites stick out than they did before. Right? Again, which is one of the things that kind of throws you off a little bit.
Don't let them freak you out.
Okay.
Catfish the whole hog.
Yeah, it's basically your R2-D2 there. Oh, look at those rats. Woo!
The critters at 3, 12, 3.
3, 12, and 3. Well, that was 6, so maybe my R2 guy can't count. Okay. Yeah, but how am I supposed to turn? I'm trying to turn. Right? It's red. Okay. It is not letting me go ahead and turn. But anyway, you can see the difference between the difference in quality between once again, the 3DO and the Sega CD in these full motion games. So it doesn't necessarily make the game that much better. It doesn't change the quality of the gameplay, but it does make it more appealing. Now, as I mentioned before, the 3DO still couldn't really do full motion video at a high enough frame rate to be truly full screen back when it was launched. And that's why you have kind of that marquee all the way around it, or that template around it, rather. So they only had to render a smaller patch of video in the middle of the screen instead of trying to stretch it all the way to the end. So it gave you more performance while still, looking like it was, it's designed that way, right? So, wrong way, apparently. Yeah, but I don't know what okay, those two let me fire like that. Okay. Yeah. How many do I have to hit? There's a bat there. Yeah, you can see like the explosion of the bat. They don't really match up with really don't match up with the background. You can just see it's like a little pasted over screen. Now, there was another system that came out before these systems did that was doing a very similar thing. Actually, not a very similar thing, and the exact same type of thing as we're seeing right here. And it was called the Pioneer Laser Active. And the Laser Active was a laser disc player, not a CD player or a CD-ROM or a DVD player, right? It was a laser disc player, and so you would get a module for the Pioneer Laser Active, either a TurboGrafx 16 or a Genesis module that would plug into it, and then you would have a giant laser disc and a cartridge. And what would happen is you would play a 16-bit Genesis game, right, or a 16-bit TurboGrafx 16 game, with the graphics overlaid on video that was basically put there by the Laserdisc in the background, doing exactly the same thing here, but really, really expensive to go ahead and do. And in fact, if you're a collector and you're looking for that system, it is incredibly expensive to collect for as well. So I have one in my collection and a couple of discs. And it's a finicky machine, but it is a pretty cool artifact from that era to go ahead and take a look at. Maybe we'll bust it out one episode here on Rewind. All right, we're going to go now and play. This is a this is a game that we absolutely loved playing in my house. And it is a cross between a board game and a video game, and just a really unique use of video and computer graphics in the context of this type of game. And so we're going to play a little bit of it, which is going to take us past 4 o'clock today, but that's fine because, you know, we're heading into a nice weekend here. We have a holiday coming up next week. So let's just play a little bit of this one. We loved this one at home. It is called Twisted, and you'll see why it's just so lovely. And when my kids would play this, even when they were little, it's like playing a live game show, but in a video game. And the clips that they use are all like open or public domain. Like, look at that, right?
Thank you. You are definitely the best audience. They just don't make them like you anymore.
I'm just going to keep the volume up on it too a little bit so we can hear a little more of it.
Thank you. Thank you, Ray Stewart. He is really terrific. And now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce my exciting assistant, the lovely Miss Hannah Boo. Let's give her a hand.
You see how they're doing reflections too?
Why don't
Which
we
is really
find out
cool.
Which of television's tortured talent will be playing this round of Twisted?
Thank you, Twink. Contestant number 1 will sell you the shirt off your back. He's the Clunker King, he's Wormington, and his dog Otis.
Come on down to Wormington, where service is a slogan.
Where service is a slogan.
Great!
That's right.
Great! And now, contestant number 2.
When she's not racing camels or trading futures, she enjoys mind reading, channeling, and vodka. She knows what you're thinking, Madame Elaine.
1-900 Elaine. I can read your mind, and you should be ashamed.
Fabulous! And now, for our next contestant, Ray?
Abandoned in a theater and raised by ushers, he's a legend in his own mind. Put your hands together for Johnny Powell.
Keep cool, Daddy-O. Okay. And our fourth
All right.
contestant?
Let's go ahead and get through that and look at
Select
the
your contestant, then press
collection,
the A button.
or the
Press
selection.
the C button after everyone has made a selection.
All right, we're going to pick him, and there we go. And
Now, Wormington, how smart do you think
let's
you
go ahead
are?
and play it and the adult difficulty
Will
level.
the next player please select a contestant?
And
Press
let's
C
pick
when all
him.
play-
And
Now,
let's,
Humble Howard, how-
and there we go. We just
Throughout
have
the
2
game,
players.
I will
Here we
refer
go.
to you by your contestant's name. The object of Twisted is really quite simple. Roll the cyber die, complete the various
The
challenges,
cyber
and
die.
get to the end first. And what happens then, Ray?
Well, Twink, our lucky winner will receive a one-way trip out of this TV wasteland into whatever the hell's on the other side of the screen.
Ooh, I hear reality is just beautiful this time of year. Well, gee, I can't wait to get going. Hannah, are you as excited as I am?
Yeah, Hannah's not very excited.
Now let's get
Twisted.
Howard, you're up first.
All right, so now we have to roll the cyber die. Oh no, actually, wait, do we roll the
Think
cyber?
fast.
Yeah.
You're on the challenge square. Wormington, take the controller and secretly select a row from the matrix.
All right, so then what they would do
Now, Howard,
is,
take the controller and select a column
let's
from the
see.
matrix.
Let's see.
Trivia. Answer all the questions correctly.
All right, let's see.
before time runs out.
Science and technology. Oh,
Wormington. Good luck.
Wormington. All right, let's see. And you see how they have it like paused in the background there?
Think fast. You're on the challenge square. Howard, take the controller and secretly
All right.
select a row from the matrix.
We're gonna
Now,
do
Wormington,
B
take the control-
and A. All right.
Answer all the questions correctly before time runs out.
Oh, let's see. I'm terrible. World history. Oh, let's see. Shiva the Destroyer. Hey, we got our.
Good job, Wormington. You know it.
started on the challenge square.
And the whole job is to get to the top of the twisted thing, right? Okay, let's go ahead and select.
Take facelift. Use the cursor pad to assemble 3 complete faces.
No. Can I? No. Yeah, only 3 would fit. Oh, see, and that was the tough part about it. It's not just matching them. So not just about it. Only there's only 3 in there that would actually line up, and so that we had to figure that out. All right, let's see. Let's try
Now, Howard, take the controller and select a column from the sound
B.
bites. Use the cursor pad and the A button to match identical sound.
All right, here we go.
Sound bites.
Yay!
Good job, Humble Howard. You go again.
You can't stop on an occupied space. Roll again.
Right.
Howard, you're still up.
Oh, the bozo square. Lose a turn.
I smell Satan. The Bozo Square. Wormington and Otis.
You can't stop on an occupied space. Roll
Oh, very good.
Very impressive. You still control the cyber die.
Think. The challenge square. Howard, take the controller and secretly select a row from the matrix.
We're gonna do
Now,
C,
Wormington,
B. All right, let's give this one a shot.
cursor pad and the A button to zap
Good
the
use
commercials,
of full
stop
motion
the
video
fusion.
for this. So what you want to do is zap the commercials. Oh, missed it. Right? So they had all these little...
Twisted, we'll be right back.
Here we go.
Each garment is hand-sewn with 198 stitches and is made of genuine 6-carat simu gold.
Their measuresmith, it slices and dices, it carves firewood. It even performs surgery on those hard-to-reach organs.
Now back to Twinkle.
Little commercial breaks
and
too.
more
They really leaned
Twisted.
into the whole television
Peaceful.
aesthetic here, right? It's just so
This
good.
is what you have to look forward to in the hereafter.
Wormington, it's to
An
you.
excellent green screening that they're doing too.
Beat that challenge.
All right, let's try one more challenge and then we'll get out of here. So you can see how much fun this actually is.
Select a row from the matrix.
Let's see. All right, we're
Now,
going to do...
Wormington, take the Twin Peaks. Use the cursor pad and the A button to match identical pictures.
Oh, there we go. So look, that was just a touch of full motion video games and why they're just so much fun, you know. Again, some of them are just absolutely terrible, but games like Twisted really leaned into pre-rendered graphics, graphics that are rendered in real time, and full motion video to go ahead and create a really unique experience for its time that was truly just a blast to play and is still a lot of fun to play today. So again, that is just a touch of the full motion video games that I love that still, I believe, stand the test of time. A couple of them there, the Road Avengers game and the Cobra Command games and Cadillac versus Dinosaurs and all of those, just lovely to go back and play. But that is going to bring us to the end of this episode of Rewind. And remember, if you are a video game developer of any size, from AAA to indies, make sure you head on over to aws.amazon.com/game tech to discover the products, solutions, and services that we offer to help you on your cloud game development journey. And if you're a beginner looking for a clear starting point to help you build a career or to learn to produce games in the AWS cloud, make sure, we recommend that you start with an AWS learning plan. This set of on-demand courses will increase your knowledge of game servers and game analytics and help grow your technical skills to solve real-world game development, compute, and analytics problems, and you can demonstrate your knowledge to the world by earning digital badges. Head on over to aws.training/GameTech to start your AWS for Games learning plan today. And of course, I want to give a special shout out and thank you to Waterflame for allowing us to use his music here on Rewind. Make sure you head on over to his YouTube channel at Waterflame Music to check out his incredible work. And finally, if you care about preserving the history of video games as much as I do, make sure you head on over to Video Game History Foundation's website at gamehistory.org. They are doing incredible work to preserve the history of our industry for future generations. And I want to thank you for spending your Friday afternoon with me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, an awesome weekend, and I'll fix that green screen problem there for next time we see you next week on Rewind. Oh!